The Packers had to kick a last-second field goal to beat the Houston Texans in Week 7, and they're going to be going up against Jacksonville Jaguars, who spent the last 2 weeks overseas and beat Ryan's New England Patriots here. It's going to be a fun matchup as the Packers travel down to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this Week 8 matchup. We're going to break down the game and provide our predictions at the very end of the video. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. And before we get into that video, we have a goal of getting to 100 new subscribers for these Week 8 prediction video series. We've been able to meet that goal over the past several weeks thanks to all of our new members. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win and why. Ryan, Packers had a unique game today against the Texans. I think we all were hoping that it would come down to a last-second field goal. However, the statistics would not jump out to you at all, but a win is a win. It's a good victory over one of the better teams in the AFC. They're going to be going up against a Jags team who had a great performance against your New England Patriots. That being said, the Patriots team's not the best in the league by any means, and they had a big advantage being over in London. But still something I think to take confidence for this Jags team moving forward here. What do you think of both of these teams that really at this point in the season overall?
Yeah, I mean the Jags. Look, this Patriots team is really bad, and I want to give the Jags props. To me, what this Patriots team is good at is stopping, is in pass protection. They have a pretty good secondary. They have some talent there. And the Jags went and were like, all right, well, we're just going to throw to our rookie receiver, and he's going to win his matchups, and then that's going to spread out the field, and they're going to start running the ball all over us. And that's exactly what they did. They spread this defense out. They ran the ball all over this defense. And Trevor Lawrence had a good game. He looks to be playing really sharp. And that was one thing I noticed in the London game last week against Chicago was that Trevor Lawrence is actually having a pretty good season, and he looks pretty good. It's just I saw him hit 2 receivers and then they just dropped the football. And it's just one of those things where the quarterback can only do so much on a play. He can make the right read. He can make the right throw. He can make a good throw. And then he can, the receiver can just drop it. And it's a no play.
And that's the thing in the first London game against the Bears is just all the drop touchdown passes as well. And it was just what can you do? I think Lawrence can absolutely improve. I bet he would say that he can keep improving, but it's this offense has the potential. And that's kind of one of the things I was immediately thinking because the Patriots got up 10-0. And I'm like, if the Jags lose this game, I mean, Doug Peterson's about to be Robert Saleh 2.0 coming back.
Oh yeah,
and be like, and that's you're gone with all this talent here.
And that's the thing is they have a lot of talent, and this is probably one of the more talented Jags teams we've seen in a long time. It just isn't they're just not quite performing up to snuff. Now this offense did hit a groove today. I think this defense, this defense took advantage of a banged up offensive line that New England has, and a really poor receiving room, and they basically stacked a box against New England and dared them to throw it, and they still couldn't. So that's kind of my thing there. This Green Bay team, this is a really good defense and this is a really good offense. We were talking about it today with our dad, and it was just kind of this Green Bay offense, they don't have a true number one, but it's you look, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, they have 4 or 5 guys, Tucker Kraft, that could beat you on any given play, and you have no idea who's going to go for 6 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown against you that week. And then, don't forget they have Josh Jacobs, who was a league rushing leader a few years ago. And this is a really great rushing offense as well. So it's fun to watch this Packers team. I think this is going to be a good matchup, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, no, it's the biggest thing to me is this Jags defense is going to have to show up. The entire Jags team is going to have to play well. But if I look at this Jags team overall, they're 29th in total yards allowed, 31st in passing yards allowed, 7th in rushing yards allowed. But I think some of that might also be kind of skewed a little bit because teams have been able to throw really all over them. So they do have 16 sacks on the year, which puts them at around league average as well. So maybe Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker can get after Jordan Love a little bit. But on the flip side, though, I say that, and then the Packers have only given up 11 sacks so far this season, putting them top 5 overall. So I just think I'm almost thinking this is kind of almost similar to when the Jags went into Buffalo a little bit, where I felt like this offense had to play perfect because there's a lot of vulnerabilities on the defensive side of the ball, and the Bills were able to exploit that. Packers are a better throwing team than the Bills, just with their overall flow, and I think their personnel is a little bit better overall compared to that game. But running wise, though, I think those two teams could be pretty comparable, and that's where I think the Packers are just going to dominate this game. I think they're going to dominate the game with Josh Jacobs and the running capabilities, and then it's going to open things up to play action game for Jordan Love and whoever he wants to throw to. Jaden Reed, is it Christian Watson that gets 10 catches? I think today it was Romeo Dobbs had 8 catches for 94 yards. And Dontayvion Wicks had a touchdown. Tucker Kraft had a touchdown. Josh Jacobs had a receiving touchdown. So, all able to spread it out. And that's just what's going to make it so tough for this team and this Jags defense, who is banged up. They've been banged up for a majority part of the season, but I don't think they have that capability defensively to stop them. And that's going to require this Jags offense to have to play perfect against this Packers defense, who had a great performance today and has had solid performances throughout the year. They kind of have the one little, I would say, outlier in week 1 where they gave up 410 yards. They're giving up 370 plus yards a couple of times. One was in the Minnesota loss. A lot of that was first half yardage, and to be fair. But in general, though, these teams, this defense kind of keeps things in check overall, throughout the season. So it's going to take a similar rushing performance today that they did against your New England Patriots. And on the flip side, too, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have to get open against Jair Alexander, going to have to utilize Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk effectively as well. It's got to be a perfect game to me, in my opinion, for this Jags team. Even though it is at home, I just think this Packers team, the way they play football, I think it travels well. And so I'm going to go with the Packers here in this game. I think Jordan Love and this Packers team, as we saw in the second half of the year, they got into form and probably were one of the best teams by the end of the year last year. I think we're starting to see them kind of get into that form now because it wasn't their best offensive performance day to day with how well this defense is playing. Offense is going to keep picking up, going to keep getting in rhythm here against a much weaker Jags defense than what they faced today against the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going with Green Bay also for the reasons that you said. I think this is just a better football team. All in all, I trust this Packers team to just make more plays consistently because they're going to be more explosive. They're going to be more versatile, and I think they'll be able to adjust as the game goes on to do what is best for this offense. And this defense is really good. So the only thing I will say, it's still pretty hot down in Jacksonville, like humidity. And I know we're getting into late fall where it's not going to be as big of a deal, but I am really curious, if the weather and temperature difference from going from Green Bay, Wisconsin to Jacksonville, Florida, if that does play a role in this game. You see a lot of Packers players cramping up there in the third and fourth quarter. I think that could be a factor.
Yeah, all those receivers will be cramping up for all the receiving yards they're going to get.
Possibly.
I think they're just going to.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be like, Coach, I'm tapped out. Be like, we're up 48-0. It's
yeah. We've been running wind sprints for 45 minutes. Let's but yeah, so I'm also going with Green Bay. I think they're just gonna be the better team. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. It is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Green Bay Packers? Will it be the Jacksonville Jaguars? And on that, we'll see you guys next time.